Welcome to Drinkosaurus, where we take ancient cocktail recipes into the modern era. My name's Matt, I'm your host, and let's get drinking. On today's episode, we're going to make a drink that is focused around a vegetable. I know what you might be thinking. Why would I want vegetables in my drink? Trust me, it's going to be good. On one of the previous episodes, I talked about how you can take a fruit and make a cocktail around it. This time we're doing the same thing, but with a vegetable. And that vegetable is the red pepper. The reason I did this is because I have this gin, Uncle Val's Peppered Gin, which has a pepper, like a red pepper, bell pepper, peppercorn sort of flavor to it. And I really wanted to highlight that aspect of it because I thought it was really unique and it's really cool. So what we'll do in this episode is I'll talk about how we can start from that concept and then add ingredients to complement it to make a fully realized cocktail. In our previous episode, I talked about gin in detail when I talked about stocking your bar for gin. So look there if you want some more information on the spirit. Our gin today is Uncle Val's Pepper Gin, which is distilled in Sonoma, California at 3 Badge Beverage Distilling. Just like a normal gin, it starts as a neutral spirit and different botanicals are added, juniper berry being the most prominent, but this one also features red bell pepper, black pepper, and pimento, which gives it that sweet sort of peppery flavor? Flaced. I combined flavor and taste. Flaced. It's the flavor taste. It's a thing now. Having tasted this spirit before, I know it has a savory vegetal flavor to it, but it also has a sweetness. If you've ever had a red bell pepper, you'll know that there's a sweet quality to it. So I want to take both of those flaced, owning it, and pick ingredients that will complement those. Whenever making a cocktail that you really want to focus around a spirit, I recommend the old-fashioned variant template, which I've used quite a few times now on this series. To review, it consists of 2 parts of our spirit, 1/2 part of some modifier, a sweetening agent, and then a bitters. So with all those things in mind, let's talk about what ingredients we're going to use to fulfill those purposes. Our spirit, of course, will be the gin that I mentioned before, and also adding to that some red bell pepper. So we're gonna consider those in that 2 parts category. So the question is, what is a sweet flavor that goes well with red pepper? And this isn't an obvious answer, and my choice for it might be questionable, but I think it works. So I'm going to use honey for that. You could use simple syrup, but I don't know, something about honey, pepper, honey pepper. It makes sense to me. Don't worry, trust me. So we're going to be using honey as our sweetening agent. In terms of our bitters, if you recall from one of the previous episodes, I tasted Burlesque bitters for the first time, which has, basically they're defined as being sweet and also spicy. So I think it works well with our drink, and it also adds a spice element. And it has, what does it have in it? Oh yeah, it has hibiscus, acai berry, and of course, some LongPepper. Hillary LongPepper. Be careful, she's here to scold your children. I love Hillary LongPepper. So now we have pepper, sweet, spice, and as our modifier, I'm going to use Ancho Reyes, which is a ancho chili liqueur, to give some more spice to it. It also has an earthy quality, which I think will sort of balance everything out. So now that we have all of our ingredients picked out, let's get to mixing. Okay. Our first goal to making this drink is to get some red pepper flavor in there. And the way we're gonna do that is through muddling. So we're gonna add our red peppers to our glass. So I'm really excited for pouring this. I hope it just doesn't come out in one plop. Sorry, that was loud. I wanna do that again, that was great. What I like to do is I like to make a base of this with my muddling ingredient, my sweetener, and my bitters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some honey. You can also use honey syrup for this. I was just lazy and didn't make it. The amount of honey just depends on how sweet you like it. I wanna put in enough to notice, but not make it too sweet. Maybe. I might make it a little sweeter. I'm gonna make it a little sweeter. I'll put in 3 little doodads. Technical terms here. Wow. Aren't bees amazing? That was really sweet. Oh my god, honey is sweet. Now that we have our pepper and our honey in there, we're going to add our Burlesque bitters. And I'm going to do about like 2 half droppers full, which is equivalent to about 2 dashes. Since this is going to be mostly gin, I don't want to be too conservative with these because I want them to have a presence. Now we're going to muddle them. Sometimes when you muddle, you add water as well to help dissolve the different ingredients. But as you know, red peppers are mostly just water, so by muddling them, we're getting some water as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just rocking it back and forth. I'm not trying to murder them. I'm just trying to harm them critically. Ooh. The squeaking. All right, and those have been muddled. I'm actually curious. I made this before. I didn't actually try like what's in there, but let me get a little. Ooh, no, pepper, get out of there. Ooh, that tastes really, really good. It reminds me of basically pepper jelly. So it has like the flavor of the peppers with the sweetness of the honey. Look, we just made pepper jelly. Now all we need to do is add in our spirit and our modifier. Oh, I was like, I know it's somewhere. All right, so I'm gonna add in 2 ounces of my gin. The bottle's like very opaque. It's like mysterious what's inside. Just clear. Oh, it smells so peppery over here. I really like it. And we're going to add in a ½ ounce of our modifier, which is our Ancho Reyes. Oh no, okay, good. That's like the hardest part about having a whole bunch of stuff. They weld themselves shut. All right. I'm gonna give this like just a little dry stir before the ice, just to make sure things have a chance to like move around. And we'll add in our ice. And mix it for about 25 to 30 seconds. All the peppers were like jumping around like they were having a really nice time. It's good. It's pepper. No, it's good. Let's not change the moneymaker as it's working. So I have, since this is old-fashioned variant, I'm going to use my rocks glass with a couple of rocks in it. I have my strainer, and I'm gonna use 2 strainers this time just because there's might be like little pieces of pepper seeds, whatever. We don't want those in our drink. So let's strain it out. I'm right-handed, gotta do it this way. Hey, see, there we go. That ice cube would have escaped. Put this to the side. And in terms of a garnish for this one, this mostly just serves a decorative purpose. It doesn't add any extra flavor, but I thought like a little strip of pepper would be a nice thematic element. And I now present to you Hillary LongPepper's bippity boppity flavor don't stoppity tincture. I hate when you're in a restaurant or a bar and like the name of the item is dumb and then you have to say it and you don't want to say it, and it's worse when you like describe it. You're like, I'll have the chicken dish. And then they're like, I'm sorry, which chicken dish? And then you have to be like, I would like the, come on baby, let me see you do that chicken dish. They know what they're doing. Let's taste it. It smells like pepper. I always do that. I'm like, we put orange in it. It smells like orange. Come on, Matt, add some good commentary. I'm gonna have to go in for another sip. So if this like drink was a graph and this was the intensity, there's like this big spike of pepper and spice, and then it levels out and like the spicy flavor just sort of lingers on the tongue. It's like a very quick flash of flavor, which normally I prefer a much more long burn of flavors, but this one's kind of cool because it's like a very intense rush of like a chilled pepper sort of flavor, and then it balances itself out. I think it's like a really unique drink. And it definitely tastes like a cocktail, but like the pepper is like an unexpected element in it. If I were to adjust this recipe a bit, I think I would add even more honey. The one flavor that's not coming through is the sweetness, and the way I would balance that out is adding more honey or maybe a honey syrup and just putting more of it in it. For me though, that's okay. I think for the general palate, more sugary pieces in there would be good. Do you want to taste it?
Yeah.
I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, me too. This makes me think of like a flamingo or something.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, it's so savory smelling. So strange. It's like drinking a red pepper. It's good though. Spice, a little spice in the back of the throat.
Jen's just perplexed.
Oh yeah, it's not a drink flavor.
So definitely one of the weirder sort of ones, but I think there's a time and place. Like this is a more summery drink, I would think. I think it would be like really good by the pool. Like it's weird. It's like refreshing, but not really, and it is tasty, but also just I think it's a more experimental drink. But for me, I like it a lot because I like peppers.
I would have it with like salsa and chips.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that Jen brings up a really good point. It would go really good with like chips and salsa, or if you don't like tequila or you don't like mezcal, this would be a good sort of Mexican drink that you could have. It's not a Mexican drink at all, but it's evocative of those flavors, which I think the Ancho Reyes puts into it too. Drinkosaurus is a production of Little Giant Monsters. If you would like to see more of the things we're working on, check us out on different social media platforms or on our website. If you really like what we're doing, please consider supporting us on Patreon, just like these awesome individuals have done so far. If you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please leave them down in the comments. I'm running out of ideas, so please give me ideas. But don't say like, oh, make a drink with Sierra Mist, because I don't want to do that. I will. If you put it in the comments, I have to. Like I'm
comment that.
No. Oh, I know somebody who's going to comment that, don't worry. That's all for today's episode. Stay peppery, whatever that means. Have fun and drink responsibly. Bye.